So the last video, I've gone on to SD card now. Talk about, like, it's interesting to meet the kinds of white people who become authors in the local region. It's amazing. We haven't had any really curious human interactions today. Nothing too weird. That's good. I enjoyed this walk. This walk that I've chosen for myself. A new walk. A completely new walk. If you've ever watched my videos in the past, what kind of walk I take is really important. The only thing that sucks about it is how fucking cold it is out. Jesus Christ. Fucking down. I walk all year in the winters of Canada. Canada, basically, people will scoff, but I'll tell you this as someone who lives a lot of his life outside in Canada. Canada, even on the West Coast, is 11 months of fucking winter. Make no fucking mistake about it, okay? It's 11 fucking months and 2 fucking weeks of winter every fucking year, okay? All I'm looking forward to is the temperature coming up to maybe 8, 9, or 10 degrees. That would be great. That'd be fucking balmy, right? Which in England means crazy. You bomb, you bastard. Seagull. Yeah, sweet. It did come up for a day or two, and then it went down again. And they've just been keeping the area cold and cloud, cold and cloud, cold and cloud. It's like every year that it takes, you get as little sunlight hours as possible. This is one of the most evil places in the world. It's kept by the Illuminati, the local royal family, and the Masons. These towns are demoralized. They tax the fuck out of everyone. The healthcare sucks shit. Old people by their fucking doctors every other day, right? They're all psychopaths, chiropractors, naturopaths. Everyone is like some sort of demonic beast, and there are pockets of places that are a little better than others. So in the centrally evil town of Qualicum, you go there, you get some pretty fucking weird behavior from these white upper class Canadians, or upper middle, right? Humans are all raised to be poor. They make false distinctions. The Bible is about false or useless distinctions that seem like everything. So white people think there's a difference between being rich and being poor, but they're really all poor. They're all poor. They're all oppressed. Anyway, when you come out of there to Rathtrevor, you get a little bit better behavior. It's a little more in park. Different people from different areas come here, right? And so I've been doing this walk, and just all of a sudden a lot of issues went down. I don't want to walk anywhere enough that people start to know me. You know, I've still got one guy in the estuary, he still uses my name. I told him to fuck off years ago. They won't stop. Right? It's just compulsive. Fear and loathing in Parkville. Okay, so I'm going to go through here. Man, I wish there was like a pocket of warmth. It does come up a little bit better. It probably will in a couple hours. The day will come up a degree or two, and it'll make a difference. Make a big fucking difference to me. A big fucking difference to me, motherfucker. I'm trying to decide which way to go. I go here. I usually go here, but I can't go here. Let's go here. Do something different. Yep. I'm hungry. I've been keeping up my food, my protein and fat. I've had 2 or 3 servings of that now. And I'm sitting there. Oh, it's so fucking cold. What happens on this walk, like other walks that have a little bit of attitude that I can get into. This walk, not so much with the getting up that core energy takes a while. You know, I've only an hour. A day like today, you need 2 hours of a lot of walking to get your core and strong. I guess I could do core exercises, I guess. But what protects me from evil? Well, decisions. So deciding where to walk, not encounter the evil that human beings, white people, um, I liked how she talked about Kip wanting to be a doctor. He wants to be a doctor. Ooh, we don't like that. We're not sure about this faint note of disapproval. It's weird. The way these white women talk is so strange. I had this one coffee shop before they cleared out, and my warlock friend said this will happen a lot, and they all cleared out and left as I sat there waiting for my burger. And she paid so much for a car and paid almost the same price to have it fixed. And he said to me, you just okay, talk about their real estate, talk about their money, they virtue signal about the property. I met white men who I've talked for 3 minutes at a time who think they know me, who just tell me where they live and how much real estate they have. It's amazing. You meet other white women, they just want the different places they've traveled and how amazing it is. And you get the idea, not just how they're talking to you, but how they talk to each other. There's no substance, right? I went to Campbell River, far away on the island. Had a really wonderful time. I came back. I didn't tell anyone I went to Campbell River. It was a transformative experience because I connected to the land, and it was beautiful, right? Came back, had a new appreciation for the area, but you don't tell anyone that. And you meet white sociopath, narcissistic sociopath. And they don't always know how to talk to me. And he's talking about how he went somewhere and he traveled somewhere and how spiritual it was, and they had totem poles. And it's like, he was just talking, he was just making sounds. Things that, like the idea of the sociopath with just almost anyone under various circumstances is like, what to say that's the right thing to do in the situation that makes me look the best that I'm allowed to say. And it was like, if I'm, in a pool hall or casino, what machines can I play and how do I approach them to make the most amount of money? How do I get the most out of this situation? What do I say? What do I do? What should I act like? Oh, I should dance. I should be a part of this. Most of the ways people are conditioned are things that sociopaths would excel at. Right? Which is playing along and playing different roles and taking advantage of all the ambiguities that are introduced by the arbitrary and economic sartorial demands placed upon different people in their bodies and minds as they cloak themselves with various defense mechanisms, clothes, strategies, and economic prerogatives. As they get older, become adulterated and acculturated. It's cold. There's been a mass of cold air that's been over this part of the world for weeks now. Just how and they keep it here. They keep it here, they keep it here, and they keep it here, and you have to fight it over that. You can fight it. But around you, to get a sense of your environment. Right? You're fighting every signal around you, through all the people, all the energy, all the mentalities. You're doing ceremony in a sea of ethereal energy, introducing the appropriate needs and the appropriate emotions to an environment being unnecessarily controlled in terms of cultural and atmospheric conditions. So you're doing that work, that's ceremonial magic. That when they, long after they come to this continent, not right away, made friends with the local, different colors of Native people. Native people could look just like me. And I've been Native to Chopin, Frederick Chopin in past life. Very similar profile to that of Chopin in terms of my emotions and my approach to life. And then they killed all these people, killed their way of life. It stinks. It's an outhouse, and you call me unhygienic? Fuck! Just walk by an outhouse. Just think of that fucking thing smells like. They collect all their shit in one place. Right? Jesus! Imagine what that leaches into. Wouldn't want to dig a well near there, right? Really getting fully light now. Let's see. Am I going to see Jerry's van? Oh, there it is. That gold van over there belongs to Jerry, who's let's say homeless. Rather homeless. He lives in his car. He's going to get a few hours sleep there before he moves on. It's cool. I like having Jerry around. He's actually a good energy, believe it or not, even though for a lot of people, I'm sure he's quite difficult to deal with. That's a white male, and he's smart. He's telling his wife, you can never really measure someone else's pain, whether you consider it real or imagined. That's a fucking smart man. I'll give him a break, give him some space. That's a smart man. You know? He walks fairly erect. His head isn't moving side to side. You see, when people are focused and their brain is focused, their head doesn't move side to side as much when they walk. Because they're focused. They need an equilibrium. They walk the way they think. He walks like a healthy person. But his feet are pointed out quite a bit. So he's in a protective mode. Prince's always had to be his whole life. Probably from the woman also walking beside him. Who walks in very forced, almost military style. Looks like she has more the constitution of a lesbian. I like lesbians, okay? But sometimes they're married to men. I don't think that's a good idea. But anyway. But he's a good guy. But there's a lot of pain in both those people. Okay? But that's honest, right? White man talking about pain. And it's hard to measure someone else's pain or anyone's pain. Right? And they have to think about that as they get older, right? As they become preyed on by the medical system. That basically wants to kill them. You know? You'll find old people all the time who go to the hospital, and then they'll get another disease or another infection, and they'll die. They'll go to a hospital for a heart condition. Next thing you know, they have ALS, which is like a catastrophic, basically disintegration of their spirit flesh, of their body. They just succumb. They can't protect themselves because they've never learned to protect themselves from the nurses and doctors around them, who will wish them dead. The only time I've ever seen nurses and doctors help someone, it actually hurt them. And a doctor pronounced a woman dead. By the way, I knew this person quite well, so I was on the scene. including in the post-op intensive care unit, where I witnessed incredibly violent behavior to the victim of these nurses. And the nurses demanded that she be resuscitated. They knew what they were doing and didn't give a fuck about her. They just wanted a statistic. They just needed someone to come back to life today because they wanted to. They're sociopaths. This woman had multiple illnesses. She'd had cancer several times, and she'd already been shitting into a bag, which might sound funny, but is extremely painful because in this part of the world, they have attaching these bags to a part of their abdomen that doesn't get infected all the time, sore and irritated, just like my asshole when I can't wipe it enough. And it's fucking pain. And it has to be changed once or twice a day. And none of the nurses, same nurses, want to do that. And so they usually leave it as long as possible while delivering a totally insufficient amount. So they become sadistic. And she was left back to life to do this for another years with nothing constructive left to do in life. You understand? But they think that win. The doctor said, it's okay. She was at peace. She told me when she came back. She said, peace, I was ready to go. It was all fine. Not so, said the white nurses. To life, seemingly. They would actually, these same people would put her in a cab at night and send her home in the beds. See what I mean? It's incoherent. It's incoherent. You have a hospital running out of beds. You have a 79-year-old woman who's had terminal illnesses of the yin-yang, and she passes away on the operating table. Leave it alone. The daughter, it's done. It's over. Her family have prepared to lose her. It's done. Over. Instead, you extend all of her pain and that of her family for another 2 years, costing the system hundreds of thousands of dollars. But no, you can't put a price on how much agony she lives in day after day. Nothing justifies that. But because these white female uppity nurses decided they wanted to play God one day, because they think they know everything, right? They fucking think they know everything. And while you're on these various wards, and I spend a lot of time with her in palliative care and related wards, these nurses are killing people every other day, right? Misdosed medication. You hear people crying and groaning in pain. They won't give them any medication. There's no compassionate relief, right? These people are monsters. They're monsters. They're female monsters. They're monsters. One of them came in to this elderly woman's room. Again, she's totally incapacitated, on drugs, and in pain all the time, and sexually assaulted her all night long. The doctor came in and said next day and said, oh, we don't want that now, do we? And that was all they said. You know what she said to me? I said, you know what? I can deal with this if you want. She said, no, don't. Don't do anything, she said. I'm scared about what they'll do to me if I complain. This is how she lived her life, right? Because they're cold. She knows they're psychos. She knows they're psychos. They're all psychos. It doesn't matter if they're nice people individually. They go home, they hug their children. They are psychos. You have to be a psycho to work. I've been sexually assaulted by almost every nurse I've ever had, male and female. You understand? They're psychos. They don't even know what they're doing. You can't even hold them responsible for what they do. Okay, they're animals. You know what they're trained in Canada? To lower all your inhibitions about pride and shame. They teach them that. They teach teenagers that who want to become nurses. They think it's normal because they prepare them for this through the public school system, right? It's fucking amazing, man. Right? I could tell you so many stories. Right? Another nurse, because I was visiting and I had long hair, said that I wasn't washing my hands enough because this woman had certain biological waste-related issues. You had to wash your hands coming in and out of the room, right? And I did, believe me. I'm a pretty health-conscious person. And they had some down the hall where I'd walk to get her ice chips, basically like every 50 feet. So I'd often hit them twice. Wash my hands. If I didn't think I'd wash my hands and I'd gone outside, wash my hands. I must have washed my 1,000 times, right? And one day I come in and said, not only had a nurse accused me of not washing my hands, they'd closed down the ice chip room. So the nurses had one more thing they had to do, right? Which was going to get as many ice chips. And had bothered to come and tell this woman that I was the culprit. None of it was true, right? Right? And so, do you see the compounded sociopathy of that person? I didn't bother complaining. It's a military establishment. They can do whatever the fuck they want, right? This person had no value. There's no way. She probably saw me went in, but she didn't see me walk down the entire hall. I might have passed the last hand station because I'd hit up a couple more up the hall, right? And by the way, this hospital is notorious for infection spreading, right? I wasn't the problem, the entire hospital was the problem. But, and so it just lowered her patient care, gave nurses more to do. That's what this one fucking white nurse did. I never found out, didn't want to, didn't care. You know why? Because my priority was this woman, not these fucked up sons of bitches. Besides, I knew that she was terrified of me doing anything, right? Even making a complaint, right? There's no reason for her to tell her that. I wanted her to lose one of the few people who even wanted to see her, because she herself, she spent her whole life lying. Her daughter actually had been sexually abused by her. Her son barely wanted anything to do with her. And later on, she started accusing and slandering me as well. Liability demanded that I couldn't come and see her anymore before she died. Okay? And a number of her white female friends continued to stalk and sexually harass me in public. That's what you get with white people. Do you understand? I want people to understand this is white people, this is white men, this is white women in every profession in their respective societies and cultures. This is how they behave. This is what they do. This is who they are. This is who they are. This is who they are. This is who my sister is. This is who my brother is. This is who my mother is. This is what we do. We're fucking monsters. Okay. Trying a new place to sit today. Let us all be safe and sound, protected from all unnecessary, unwanted evil, parasitical, or disintegrating energy. So saith the Son of Man. So saith the Son of Man. So saith the Son of Man. You know why the number 3 is important? It's the number of the Son. That's why they have a Trinity of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Which is about actually disrespecting the Son and sacrificing the Son. That's why a child born on December 21st, or 25th as the case may be, is sacrificed 3 months later, at the age of 33. 333. The number of Christ, the number of the sacrifice. The core iced. Put on ice, right? Put him on ice. That means to kill him. Christ is the dead mass of your child. It's the bed mass. The dead mass. The mass of death. The death being the great big debt at the end of all human life, where the son of all man's labor, a giant, and kills all of his children. Right? That's why the son is living on death row. Right? That's your special world of astronomy, or astronomy. Right? The stars use to kill the sun. Astronomy. Gas, which is the sun, and the sea that Christ rides in on before he's killed every Easter. Because Easter is the birth of the sun, and they kill you as soon as you're born. So why shouldn't we kill the sun every spring? And you think I'm a bad person. I made a big decision today. Instead of getting ketchup chips, I got jalapeno. Jalapeno. Ah, my shoulders have a couple tinges today. Oh. when you deal with white people, you're dealing with people who have no morals. They talk like they do, but if you realize they don't have any morals, there's no morals there. I'm trying to eat more than I ate yesterday because there's a house over there. White sociopaths are really good at being people. They're better at being people than most people. So when you go to school and the popular boys and girls are all talking, it's like they're enjoying being people more having fun. Their lives seem to go on more normally than yours does. They love the music, the movies, the memes, everything. They're having a good time. Right? They're exactly what people are supposed to be. They think they know something that you don't about the world. Natural people, non-sociopaths, they don't, because they're morally fatuous and vacuous. You know? They're like empty windbags, actors on a stage. If you met any character from your favorite movie or TV show, at some point up and be a normal person. Stop trying to be this character. Females are the worst. If someone offered them the ability to insure their children at a certain price, they would. They've got life insurance policies on their children. I've had white women within feet of their own grandchildren will tell me how they slowly killed their own male children over a period. And they tell it like a story where they're the victim to make themselves feel good. It's incredible. Do they know what they're talking about? And they use pattern. They're always cast themselves in the innocent role, because the worst part is they have no moral agency with respect to the treatment of their children. They don't owe them anything. The worse that the world is treating their child, the more heroic whatever it is they decided to do, even if they just had magical thoughts to their God creator every day. They never have to really do anything. Dog barking. I don't know what's over there. There used to be houses. What's great is on this walk, I haven't really encountered too much negative energy.